Right. Good morning, everyone. All the online students. Is that the screen is visible? All the online students. Could you please everyone respond in the chat window? I request all the online students need to respond in the chat window. Okay. All right, guys. Perfect. Let's continue then. So the one we have been discussing about this particular aspect of frameworks concept here as part of that particular framework. As part of that particular framework, which we got discussing about this particular aspect of hybrid framework. Okay. If I'm just taking with this particular aspect of hybrid framework. So as part of this particular hybrid framework, okay, as part of this particular hybrid framework, first we'll be getting started in working with that particular playwright. First, we'll be getting started in working that particular aspect of playwright. For that particular playwright, you will be taking with in integrating that particular aspective futures. That is what you will be taking with Allure reports. For that particular Allure reports, for that particular aspect of Allure reports, we integrated that particular test suite. So up to this, we are already done. As part of our project, we got implemented that particular hybrid framework. For that particular hybrid framework, we done with that particular playwright, and then we will be taking with this particular aspect of Allure reports, and then you will be taking with that particular aspect of test suite here. Now, continued with the same thing, we have to integrate some more features. That is what we will be taking with using with the option that we will be considering the Jenkins here, which need to be get implement that particular Jenkins. And for that particular Jenkins, we will be taking it. For that particular aspect of the Jenkins, I will go with in implementing that particular GitHub. And for that particular GitHub, I will be taking with GitHub action. So that particular GitHub action, I will be taking with. That particular GitHub actions, we need to be get integrated. So not like mandatory that because of the hybrid, we need to integrate only these steps here. We can go with in integrating any of other steps also, but in general, in regular, we have to go with in implementing these particular steps here. So in this way, we need to be get go with, we will be taking with this particular aspect of playwright and then these futures. In that, if I just go with the playwright, which has been used in developing automation script, then we got an Allure report that we will be taking with in generating extended report. Then we will be taking with the test suite that we will be mentioning that group of test cases in executing that particular group of test cases. Now, along with this particular one, we have to go with in implementing that particular Jenkins here. Need to be get go with in implementing that particular aspect of Jenkins. So how exactly we can implement these particular Jenkins? what exactly use of these particular Jenkins here. Let's see that. Let's understand. In that, the very first thing, the main purpose of Jenkins, the main objective of Jenkins, it will be taking with CI and CD tool here. If I'm taking with these particular Jenkins, it will be considering that it will be taking with that particular aspect of CI, and then it will be taking with CD tool here. That particular CI, and then it will be taking with this particular aspect of CD tool. We can say that continuous integration, or it will be taking with continuous deployment. That particular CI and CD, it will be taking with continuous integration, or it will be taking with continuous deployment. Now, while working with the automation, the main objective of Jenkins is CI and CD, which is considered as a continuous integration or continuous deployment. Mainly DevOps team. DevOps team will be using this particular one. So mainly DevOps team will go with and using this particular Jenkins here. But as of now, while working with the playwright or while working with the automation testing, we are using with the Jenkins to implement to implement schedule run. To implement schedule run. So while working this particular automation, why we are taking with the help of Jenkins is to get implement that particular schedule run. It will be taking with the help of that particular Jenkins here. So I mean, previously you are already done with these features of test suite. How you are executing the test suite, to execute that particular test suite also, we got different type of options here. We got an option of you will be utilizing default option that you will be taking with the help of test folder. After that, you will be taking with and utilizing that particular test dot describe method. After that, you will be taking with this particular aspect of utilizing that particular grep command. We are able to implement test suite, but even though test suite has been implemented, the test suite we have to execute manually. Like we have to open the VS Code and we need to be get open that particular project and we have to execute that particular test cases here. But while working this particular aspect of Jenkins, so while working this particular aspect of, you will be taking with this particular aspect of Jenkins here. If I'm taking with this particular aspect of Jenkins is which you will be utilizing to implement that particular aspect of schedule run. To implement that particular aspect of schedule run, it will be taking with the help of this particular aspect of Jenkins here. So how exactly we can implement? See that? So while working this particular playwright automation, use of that particular Jenkins is to implement that particular schedule run. So how exactly we can implement this particular schedule run? Let's look into the steps. For this, just need to follow some steps only. There is no concept of in updating this particular existing code. That means you doesn't require to get update. you doesn't require to get update any of that particular existing code here, which you need to be just go with in providing that particular respective of settings here. You need to be just go with in providing that particular respective of settings. So what exactly that particular respective of settings need to be done? Let's understand that. So we can say that steps to implement Jenkins. Steps to implement Jenkins, which I will be taking with first step. As usual, while working these particular Jenkins also make sure JDK installed in system. Make sure JDK has been installed in system. Before getting started with the Jenkins installation, before getting started with the Jenkins installation, you have to make sure that particular JDK has been installed. Since that, I will be taking with first step, mention that download and install jdk.exe. Download and install that particular jdk.exe. So which I will be taking with download and then taking with the install that particular jdk.exe here. Okay, done. After that, which I will be taking with this particular next step. First, I will be taking with download and then taking with install that particular jdk.exe. Sorry, not JDK, guys. This is Jenkins. Jenkins.exe. Okay. After that, install Node.js plugin in Jenkins. Install Node.js plugin in Jenkins. So you need to be get install. You need to be get install that particular Node.js plugin in that particular Jenkins here, which I will be taking with install Node.js plugin in Jenkins. Okay. After that, next step, configure Node.js. Configure Node.js in Jenkins here. Configure Node.js in Jenkins. And the last step, create a schedule. The last step is create a schedule. Okay, right. So these are the steps you have to perform. You doesn't require to go with any of the programming or coding. Previously, in the framework, up to test suite, what are the steps we have been done? All that particular steps will be the same. You will not be making any of the changes here. Along with that, addition to that, you will be taking with the help of this particular Jenkins here. So which I will be taking with the help of this particular respective of Jenkins. So let's see that how exactly you will be taking with this particular Jenkins here. Okay. What is the first step? Download and install Jenkins. That particular steps very clearly have been documented. So very clearly have been documented. Just you can follow that particular steps only. see that. Okay. First, I will be taking with download and install that particular Jenkins. Download and install that particular respective of Jenkins here. Okay. So now you will be taking with go to that particular website. Once you are taking with that particular respective website, it will be taking with this particular respective step. First, it will be taking with that particular Windows. It will be downloading .exe file. Once you download with the .exe file, as usual, just you have to go with double click. You need to be get go with double click activity. Once you done that particular double click, it will be continued that particular installation. Once we have been done with the double click, it will continue that particular installation. It will be just clicking on next button. While installing, it is asking about where you have to install with the Jenkins. Is that on server or local system? Which you can go with local system. You need to be get install in that particular local system. You will be selecting that particular option. Okay. After that, you will be taking with port number, which you will be taking with that particular respective of port number. If I'm just taking with that particular respective of the port number. Okay. So by default, it will go with the port number is 8080. By default, it will be taking with that particular port number. It will go with 8080 here. Okay. So that particular port number, sometimes in case if it is busy in your, system, we can change with the port number to 81, 82, any number. It should be 4 digit. Number can be anything. It's need to be get considered as a 4 digit. That is what I will be taking with the port number. But 99% you will be working with the same number 8080 only. To confirm that port number is available in your laptop or not, you can click on that particular test port. Then you will be able to see getting that particular green color. If you are getting that particular respective of green color, then you will go with in mentioning the test port here. Okay. So that I will be clicking on next button. Okay. After that, your Jenkins will be continued in installing. While installing with the Jenkins, it will be asking about path of JDK. Cineva local system, where exactly JDK got installed. In your local system, where exactly that particular JDK has been installed, it will be taking with that particular respective of JDK. So selecting that particular respective of JDK. Okay. After that, it will be continued that particular installation. While continued that particular installation, after completion of that particular installation, you have to open any browser, whatever the browser. It can be any kind of browser. You need to enter the URL, mention the HTTP localhost colon 8080. For the first time, it will be asking about unlock Jenkins. You need to be more careful here. All the online students also. You can unlock only for one time. The password will be working for only one time. Because once you done with the unlock, you done with the login, immediately you need to change with the password. Otherwise, it will become a problem for the next time of the login. For the first time, once you log in with initial password, then immediately you need to change that particular password. So how you need to change with the password is first we have to go to this path. But see the path, you got in a C drive. Folder name is program data. Folder name is program data. That means it's not like you will be taking with, you will be having. Right. So which you will be taking with, you will be having that particular C drive program data. In a C drive, by default, you will get program files only, but not like programming data. That folder will be in a hidden folder. You have to enable that particular hidden folder settings in your laptop. In general, in your laptop, you may done with the settings of hidden folder visible. You have to go with that particular settings here. Then you will be able to see that particular folder name of programming data. If you want, you can cross check that. You got a folder name programming data. So program files is different. Program files, everyone will be having it, but along with that, you got in a one more folder that you will be taking with programming data. Okay. And here you will be taking with, you will be providing that particular password. So whatever the password is there, you will be using for initial admin password here. Okay, so it will go with this particular file and then you will just double click on that. You will get in a password. You will be providing that password. So once you've done with the login, first immediately you can change with the password and after that you can continue in installing that particular respective plugins here. Just you will able to understand what are the plugins you want to install. You will be selecting and all that particular plugins has been getting installing. So this is how you will be continued on that particular whole installation. Once all the installation is completed, we can say that Jenkins has been ready to implement that particular scheduled run. So as a tester, how you will confirm that? So how you will confirm that that particular Jenkins has been installed in your laptop? How you will confirm that Jenkins has been successfully installed in your laptop? It will depends on the URL. See here. I'm just taking with the URL that I will be taking with localhost colon 8080. So by default, we are providing with the port number that you will be taking with 8080. Then you will be able to asking for that particular login details, which you will be taking with username and password. So password is not like in a default password, which you will be taking with after completion of the installation. At the time of change password, whatever that particular password has been done, you will be taking with that particular respective password. Just I'll mention. Right. Now we can see here, this is how you will be able to see this particular perspective of login page. I mean, once you've done with the Jenkins, you will be having this particular login page has to be available here. Okay. So now what is the first step you completed? First step you completed in implementing, installing that particular Jenkins here. And after that, you need to install that particular Node.js plugin. You have to install Node.js plugin. So let's see that how exactly you will install that particular Node.js plugin. For that, first you can go with settings. Click on the settings, come down. You will be able to use the option of plugins. So for now, our requirement, we need to be get install that particular plugins here. You will click on that. And then you will be searching the plugin. What is the plugin we required, guys? What is the plugin we have to install? What is the plugin we have to install? Right. So we need to install with the plugin of, it will be taking with Node.js, right? Let me search it. Just I will be clicking on these particular plugins here. Okay. So here you need to be get click on available plugins. Just you can click on that and then you will be clicking on Node.js. For me, it is not displaying it because I have been already installed it. I have been already installed it. It is not displaying. In your case, it will display. And once installation is completed, I'll go with the option of installed plugins. Now you can see. It will be taking with Node.js plugin, which has been installed. The same thing very clearly it has been documented. See here, I will be taking with the settings and then plugins. I will be clicking on available plugins. Once you click on available plugins, it will be taking with Node.js, which you will be taking with that particular Node.js. Then it will go with this particular aspect of, you will be having the option of Node.js. You have to click on that particular install button, which you have to click on that particular aspect of install button. Okay. So it will be able to get click on that particular install button. Let's see that. So once that particular installation is completed, it will be completing with the second point. First point is download and install Jenkins. Second point is install Node.js plugin in Jenkins. Third one, you need to configure Node.js. So how you will configure Node.js? Go to the settings. Once you go with that particular settings, you will be clicking on tools. Just click on that particular tools. See here, while working that particular real time. So while working that particular real time, based on that particular project requirement, based on that particular project requirement, it will be taking with this particular difference will be there. So while working that particular real time, based on that particular project, it will be taking with different kind of settings will be done. So which it will be taking with this particular perspective of Maven. It will be taking with this particular perspective of Maven here. This is what is mean by Maven. You are not worried about all the things here. So based on the project requirement, it will go with these particular different type of options here, which it will be taking with this particular perspective of Maven. Then you will be taking with JDK, even Git, if you're working with the GitHub, and then taking with and multiple things will be there. So for now, we are working this particular perspective of Node.js. So for now, we are working that particular perspective of Node.js here. So for in your case, for the first time, we will be getting an option of add Node.js. Click on that. Once you click on add Node.js, it will be asking about with the name. It will be providing that particular name, which it will be providing that particular respective of name here. So which it's need to be get able to get provide that particular name. Then you will be taking with install automatically. You have to make sure that in clicking on the checkbox of install automatically, you will be able to click on that particular respective of checkbox, which you will be able to click on that particular respective of checkbox. Then automatically in your laptop, whatever that particular respective of Node.js has been installed, it will be selecting it. So and then it will click on apply and it will click on save. There is no confusion at all, guys. Just it will be taking with the settings and then tools, and then it will be taking Node.js. Click on add Node.js, providing the name, and it will be taking that particular checkbox of install automatically. Then it will be able to get install it. This is what it will be completing all the installations. Once all these particular installations are completed, then it will be taking with the final step. That is what you have to create a schedule. So finally, we have to create a schedule. Let's see that how exactly we can create a schedule. Little bit more careful in creating with the schedules here. Let's see that how exactly we can create that particular schedule here. Right. See the steps, guys. All the online students. Please be little bit careful about with the steps. First, I will be taking with these particular option. See here. First, I will be taking with the home page. Click on the option of new item. You have to click on the option of new item. Once I got click on that particular new item, once I got click on that particular new item, I will be taking with name. Name can be anything based on your comfortable. You can provide any of the name. You can provide any of the name. Make sure that you will be selecting freestyle project because the Jenkins, it's not like related to testing. So here, not only these particular Jenkins, even test suite, Allure reports, it's not like only related to testing. Everyone, whoever the people like testing team, development team, DevOps team, AWS team, whoever the people has been required the futures, they will be utilizing these particular tools here. So now I'm just selecting whether the option is freestyle project. Then you can click on this particular OK button. Once you click on that particular OK button, once you got click on that particular respective of OK button. Right. So which I will be taking with these particular steps, which I will be mentioning that I will be having these particular respective steps here. So in this way, I will be taking with these particular respective steps here, which I will be taking with these particular steps. So now I will be taking with, I will be having these particular respective steps here. Right. See here. As simple. First, I will be taking with description. If I'm just taking with this particular description, see here. I'm just mentioning that 75 batch. You can write any of the description here. I'm just mentioning that schedule run. Okay. So 75 batch scheduled run. Okay. This is it audible? All the online students. Is it audible now? Okay. All the online students. For everyone, it has been audible. Okay, right. Done. Okay. So what I'm explaining is for Jenkins, we have to inform that where exactly our automation scripts has been available. We need to be get provide that particular path. Okay. After that, the display name, we can provide anything here. I'm just mentioning that 77 batch. Okay. Now we given the path of our code. But what it has to do, automatically it has to execute it. When it has to be get executed, we need to provide certain time. We need to be get provide certain time here. Based on that particular time, we have to get provided. So how exactly we can provide that particular time is, let's see here, which I will be taking with build periodically, which I will be taking with that particular build periodically. Okay. Now, if I'm giving with the general time, for example, I will be taking with 12 p.m. Jenkins cannot understand. If I'm just giving that particular 12 p.m., it cannot understand. Jenkins itself, it is having its own format, not even one format also. Multiple formats are available. I'll just go with one of the common regular format. Other formats we can get from Google only. I mean, whenever we record project base, but which I will be taking with the one common regular format is it will be taking H, considering that hour. It will be taking with 24 hours format, not 12 hours format here. It will be taking with 24 hours format. For example, I will be taking with 13, 13th hour, and then minute, seconds, milliseconds. So automatically from the server it will take the time. Now we can see. I just press with the tab. Every day at the time of 1 p.m. Every day at the time of 1 p.m. For example, I will be taking with the 11. It will take every day 11 a.m. So which it will be working with 24 hours format here, which I will be taking with that particular respective of the time, like every day at 1 4 p.m. it will be able to do it. So that is what I will be taking it, which I will be providing that particular time. Just which hour it has to be get executed, you can provide the details. Now you provided path of your workspace. You provided schedule. Now it has to execute. How it has to be get executed according to the playwright. All the programs you are executing from VS Code. I mean, by using the commands, you need to be get provide that particular commands. See that how you will be taking with the commands is you will be using that particular build step, which I will be using that particular build step, mentioning that add build step, which I will be taking with that particular add build step. Okay. Now you can see here. If I just go with that particular perspective of the build step, I will be using execute Windows batch command, which I will be taking with execute Windows batch command, which I will be taking with the help of that particular perspective of execute Windows batch command here. Okay, let's see that. Now here I will be taking with that particular command. Let's see here. First I will be mentioning that I will be taking with change directory. CD means it will be changing with the directory. Whatever your workspace is there, you need to be get provide that particular workspace. Now what it has to do, that particular Jenkins, whenever it was executing the schedule, first it has to go to this particular path. In this particular path, it's need to execute the program. To execute in a program, you require that particular playwright. That you will be taking with npx. You will be taking with npx. And then you will be mentioning that you will be taking with the playwright install. You are not providing playwright that init playwright at the rate latest because we doesn't require all the folder structure. Just only playwright libraries are required. Because of that, you are using with the command of npx here. npx playwright install. In the same way, you will be taking with the call npx, you will be taking with the playwright, that you will be taking test. You are providing path of the test folder. By that, in that particular test, whatever the automation scripts are there, it will be able to execute all the automation scripts here. This is how you need to be get provided list of that particular commands here. See that as simple. First will be taking with selecting that particular new project, new item, provide item name, select freestyle project, provide the description, click on advanced button, provide the path of workspace. Once you provide with the path of the workspace, you can provide any name. Then you will be taking with the trigger. You are providing that particular schedule. How you are giving the schedule? First number is hour, eighth hour, and then minutes, and then seconds and milliseconds here. Okay. For now, go with the hours only. If you want to go with the minutes and seconds, again the format will change it. That you will create a confusion. You can go with the minutes only. Then you will be taking with, you will be providing with the command. That you will be mentioning that, see here. First you will be taking with CD. First you will be taking with CD. Right. So now it will be taking with, this particular CD. So now it will be taking change in the directory. Call npx playwright install. Call npx playwright test here. Okay. Done. So now with this, it will be taking with click on save, and then it will be taking with apply. I will be taking with apply and save. Now if I go with the home page, we got 77 batch schedule is created. So for now it is not executed. In case if I'm creating one more schedule, again you have to give all the required options here. For every schedule, you need to be get provide all that particular required options here. Now I given the schedule time is 1 p.m. So it will execute at 1 p.m. But for now, I want to understand that how the results will be generated in the Jenkins need to be get executed immediately. To execute immediately, see here. You are using the small drop down icon, use the option of build now. Once you are clicking on that particular build now, okay, right. So which I will be taking with that particular build now. If I just click on build now, see, it will execute immediately. Now we can see here 77 batch. It is executing for the first time. This hash one means which it will be taking with for first time it has been executing. but you are not able to see that. You are not able to see that any of that particular aspect of browser visibility. Jenkins, everything it will execute in the headless mode only, and then it will be giving with the result. To see the result, you can click on this. Okay. Now we got, see here. You're able to see date and time. 12:06 p.m. it is executing. Once I click on that console output, all the steps executed saying that for finish success. Now you are having Jenkins results. At the same time, you will be sorry. At the same time, you got HTML reports also. You will be taking with the playwright report with the today's date. You will be able to see with that particular today's date. So just we got all that particular HTML reports, and then you will be taking with this particular aspect of Jenkins also. So what exactly make the main advantage is, see here. Executed. I'm executing one more time. I'm executing one more time. Just clicking on build now. See here, this time it is giving an a count is 2. Previously, count has been given as a 1. For the first time it is executed. Now it has been taking with count as a 2. For the second time it was executing. Let's see that. Right. Let's see that which it will be executing for that particular second time. Just I will be clicking on 77 batch. Okay. Now see the advantage. You are able to see all the execution. First time, second time. So how many times it has been executed? How many times it has been executed? You will be able to see history of all the results. Whenever you want to cross check that results of that execution, just will click on that particular result. You will click on console output. You will be able to see with the results here. If you want to cross check that, you can see the previous batches here. Now you will be able to see. So like every day, 9:47. Like whatever the time I have been given, according to that particular timings, it will be able to execute. Like every day, 10:23. Like every day, 10:23 it is executing. It will maintain all the results. Whenever I require, I can open that particular schedule. I can click on console output. I can see with the results here. This is how you will be taking with the help of Jenkins here. So by this, you doesn't require to be available in front of laptop. Just a laptop need to be on. That's it. Not like laptop has been shut down. Your laptop need to be on. Just your laptop has been on. Then it will be able to execute that particular automation script based on that particular schedule. So whatever that particular schedule you have been provided, according to that particular schedule, it will be able, right? According to, yes, is it audible, right, for everyone? Okay, perfect. Right. So this, it will be taking with this particular one, which it will be taking with, it is having it. Right. So which I will be taking with this particular perspective of, it will be creating that particular schedule. So while working that particular real time, this particular schedule has been mandatory. While working that particular real time, this particular schedule has been mandatory means it depends on it. As part of learning, as part of real time, we are understanding all the possibilities here. But whenever you are working with the real time, it's totally depends on that particular project requirement and you will be taking with client requirement. Every statement clearly have been documented here. Save and apply to execute automation script immediately. You will click on small drop down icon. You will click on build now. Then you will be able to see execution will be getting started here. So then you will be clicking on that particular console output. You will be able to see that particular results here. So in this way, you got an Jenkins results. At the same time, you will be able to see that particular playwright results also. This is how you can get implemented this particular aspect of Jenkins. Apart from that, we are not worried about in doing that particular continuous integration or taking with the deployment. We are not worried about all those things here. While working this particular playwright automation, how exactly, while working this particular playwright automation, how exactly we can go with in implementing with the Jenkins that particular steps we are getting comfortable. Similar to that, we need to be get go with GitHub option. So that particular GitHub option, which I will be taking with repository. So if I'm taking with the repository, I will be considering the common storage. If I'm taking with the repository, which I will be considering the common storage. To get take with the practice of repository, first you have to create GitHub account. What is mean by GitHub? Everything I will be explaining. Again, it is also need to be get done with the settings only. Because of that, I'll explain tomorrow. Today we'll get in a confusion. First, I can complete with the Jenkins for tomorrow session. And by tomorrow, make sure that you are creating one particular GitHub account. What exactly the GitHub account is there? You can go with in creating that particular aspect of GitHub account here. Okay. So I mean you have to sign up with that GitHub and you need to log in into the GitHub. Once you're done with the login and sign up, what are the things we have to do? That will be looking into that. But for tomorrow's session, be ready with one particular GitHub account here. Okay. Clear everyone? So just you need to go with all the settings only, guys. You have to go with the proper settings here. Then you will be able to implement with the Jenkins here. So please take with the practice of that. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about GitHub and GitHub Actions. Both the things will be discussing it. By that we can complete this particular hybrid framework. Then we'll be getting started that particular POM here. Okay. Clear everyone? Right. So please take care about it. Please take care about that particular practice here. Right? Okay. Having the questions, you guys can carry on your questions.
Hi, sir. Hello. Can you able to hear me, sir?
Uh,
Hello.
yes, carry on.
Sir, I just want to know how to execute in a debug mode in VS Code. How to execute code in a debug mode, sir.
So you will be using with the command, right? You are using with the command of this particular npx. Okay. Then you will be taking with the playwright test. You will provide with the file name tc001 dot spec dot ts. Then you
Okay.
can add with the statement of debug, or you can add with the statement of first you can get go with these particular headed, then you will be mentioning the debug. Okay. Then it will
Okay.
execute in the debug mode here. Okay.
Okay. So when
Okay.
there is a number, right? One, two, three, four. So left side we need to give a debug point, and then while
Oh, we
executing it
can,
will stop.
yes, yes, yes. It will stop at that particular point.
Okay, I'll try it, sir. And
Okay.
second question is, sir, when will that 7 p.m. Interview session will be start?
Okay, TypeScript, right?
Yes.
So we are planning in the next week. Still
Okay.
date is not confirmed. It in the next week we may expect it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Um, in Jenkins, is it mandatory for every time giving the installation command for Playwright
Yes. I mean, for every schedule,
for
for
every
whenever you are
schedule run? Huh.
whenever you are creating with the new schedule, then you have to provide it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Next.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yes.
Uh, I have heard like in Jenkins we also use shell script to schedule a batch along with report generation. So the report, whatever the report is generated, that will be received in an email. So is that
Oh,
possible?
yes, but only the thing is here you need to go with the extra settings, and along with that you need to be get go with that particular aspect of this email configuration you have to do. So whenever you are creating with the schedule, now for example you can see here, if I just go with these particular settings,
Hmm.
we will get an option of post to build action. So if I'm taking with add post to build action, so here I got an option of email notification. If I click on this, it will be asking about the email IDs. So I can mention that particular email ID by giving the comma symbol. But before this, from which email it has to send it? Is it Outlook or Gmail? What is that particular server it has to use it? All that particular things you need to be get provided in the settings. Once you configure that, then it will be able to do it. If you go with these particular tools,
Hmm.
JDK, Maven, okay, tools. Oh. So here I will be taking extended email notification. So here you need to be get provide all the details, which server you required it, that port number, all that particular credentials you need to be get added. Then it will be able to send that email also. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Coming to the projects, by default, they gonna build this one, sir, or else do we need to set up manually?
No, no. Repeat the question again.
Coming to our projects, I mean, working in the offices, do they configure these all things, or else we need to
We need to
configure
con.
this?
We have to. I mean, as part of the project requirement, if client is expecting that need to be get implement with the Jenkins, then we have to configure.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Next.
Hi Suresh, I have a query here. We have
Yeah.
installed this Node.js right on the system earlier, like in the beginning of the Playwright.
Correct.
And how does this like a plugin and the installation is different?
No, it's not like installation is different. You install the Node.js in your local system. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Node.js is different. Jenkins is different. So
No,
Jenkins, so there is no way of connectivity, right? Jenkins is totally different. Node.js is totally different. Now Jenkins has to recognize that Node.js commands. Like now you given the commands and then it's need to be get invoke your Node.js which version has been installed in your laptop. For that
Hmm.
particular purpose, first you are installing the Node.js plugin. Once you install the Node.js plugin, when we are configuring, you are just clicking on the checkbox of install automatically. Install
Yeah.
automatically means it is not installing the Node.js. In your laptop, already Node.js is installed. Which version has been installed, it will pick that particular details here. Okay?
Okay. And
Yeah.
one more query was like in the build steps, the commands what we passed, right? We passed the last command was of the test call npx playwright to test. So here we are
Correct.
specifying all the test, like all the test cases that are in the particular folder, right?
Yes, exactly.
So we must be sure, like if we want to execute specific test cases, we have to be sure like we are keeping only those test cases into that folder and the remaining into the other workspace.
No, we can go with the file name. Which test case you want to get executed, you will be providing that the file name.
Okay, like can I provide with like 4 to 5 test cases at a set, like by providing the
No.
file names only?
No, no. See,
Mm-hmm.
individually, till now, how you executed, whenever you are taking with the VS Code, so you are just able to give in a command of like you will be giving the npx playwright test and you are giving the file name dot spec dot ts. At a time, you are
Yeah,
able to provide only one test. The
one
same
test.
thing has
Yeah,
been
that's what.
applicable. Yeah.
Okay, here also we have to do the same way, like
Yes,
what we
exactly.
learned yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, Suresh. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
So just like we are setting the time, like can we schedule the day also like Monday, Tuesday?
That from the UI you will not be having with the option. Again, you have to write an extra commands for that because that format it will vary from the schedule to schedule. So for now, whatever the format I have been given, that is a very regular format I have been given, which will go with on the regular basis in the real time because like every day the scripts need to be get executed, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay then. Please take care about the practice. Meet you tomorrow then. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.